Hey, Kate.
Hi, how are you?
There's a lot of change going on at work.
Yeah, I imagine. And in life, right?
Yeah, and in life. Our youngest started senior year of high school. Our middle started dental school for real this week. Our oldest is in Chicago doing well, but she just started a new job in July. Yeah, so we're kind of empty nesters, kind of sorta. But really at work. I'm in healthcare. We're going through merger, acquisition, integration, changes in leadership, a lot.
So Tom sent me an article yesterday. It's a guest essay from the New York Times. It says "Stop Resisting Change" by Brad Stolberg.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking about you when he sent it to me. He sent it to me because he's like, "Oh, as we go into retirement, we need to think this way."
Okay.
Um, and I received it as someone who like went into semi-retirement in December, and the year up to that was really, it was a tough year. It was very I was resistant to a lot of things. I had a back issue that resulted in surgery, etc. And the thing that kind of struck me as a part of this article and I've seen this now three times, this exact quote three times in the last week. So anytime that happens, I'm like, oh, someone's sending me a message. The Anytime you step into the river, it is a different river.
Hmm.
It is never the same river that you step into twice. Kind of in the same space of like you can never go home again, but but the wisdom of the article that I took was really that change is constant and inevitable. And when we fight to get back to stasis, to the original state, that's where we continue to have our healthcare issues, our health issues, our discontent with the change, um, our that the mental weariness that we get with change. And I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of Buddhist material actually, trying to figure out how we infuse the Buddhist mindset and as meditation, equanimity, find peace. And a lot of that is about we actually create our own suffering
Mhm.
just by thinking about the past, thinking about the future, making up all kinds of stories, worst case scenarios. When what we really need to do is sit, pay attention to what's actually going on right now.
Mhm.
And frankly, it's not our mind that is very good at paying attention to the right now. It's our body.
Yeah.
Our body is like our radar.
Yeah.
And I've heard things like you can't focus on your breath and be focused in the past or the future. The only way to focus on your breath is to pay attention to right here, right now.
Mhm.
And if you do that, you realize that it's probably not quite as bad as what you're making it out to be. And just yeah, you're right. I mean, every day is different.
Yeah.
That's change.
The Buddhist teaching of not being too attached
Hmm.
to the outcome comes to mind. Um, that getting back to what is familiar, or that creating what I think is the right thing, right? That's all future thinking. That's all very um, just when we let go of our attachment to the outcome. For me, there's a peace that comes over me.
Hmm. You're making me think too about, when you're a kid, you
Mhm.
can't wait to grow up. If you're first grade, you can't wait to get to second grade. You can't wait to make all the rules. You can't wait to be big or the next thing or the next thing. Can't wait for Christmas. Then you get to be an adult and suddenly you want it to go backward. And what the heck?
Youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah, I guess. So we were changing every day and changing really quickly as kids.
Mhm.
I wonder, really what is going on with us as adults that we can't look forward to next year or the next thing or the next growth opportunity, or you know what? You and I were just talking earlier. I'm not the kind of person in career that loves just the day-to-day
Yeah.
operations. My mom and all my aunts were teachers. And what did I say when everyone asked, you want to be a teacher? I'm like, hell no. That's like Groundhog Day over and over, same old, new crop of students teaching the same stuff. No way. I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah, I think there's people who really relish the stability of the, I know what's going to happen this year. But again, I think that's attachment to the outcome of, I know this and I'm familiar with it, and it doesn't feel like change, even though there's a whole new crop of students or whatever. Um, the article also made me kind of pause as I've gone into semi-retirement. We've talked about this quite a bit, right? I've gotten every certification known to man, and kept myself very, very busy. And it's only this last, couple of months where I put a moratorium on classes and put a moratorium on any additional things. Although I caught myself looking at a website this morning.
Oh,
Um, and where I'm digesting that is that I can do a jigsaw puzzle, which I quite enjoy. And that doesn't mean that that's all I'm ever going to do for the rest of my life is just do jigsaw puzzles. But I
mhm.
can take enjoyment in that. I can decide to go to a movie in the middle of the day. I have not done that yet, but I can decide to go to a movie
Yeah.
in the day. Theoretically, I can decide to go do that. It doesn't mean that I'm going to do that every day.
Mhm.
And that if you just be more present in the moment of what does this look like, and that it'll probably be different tomorrow, a week from now, 3 weeks from now, next year, the following year, that's probably okay.
Mhm. And if you can wake up in the morning like a little kid, wondering, I wonder what today's going to be like.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we can focus on our vision boards and, pictures that we can imagine ourselves, yep, in the future, being really happy, but being wiser,
Yeah,
um, having more family, living in a new place, then I think we can get through the bumps in the road of change.
yeah. If we're not so busy holding on to what we might lose, but
Yeah.
expansiveness around what we might gain with the experience or with the time or the exposure, we might just be a little bit happier.
Mhm. Exactly. And always remind ourselves that we are CEO of us.
Mhm.
So when we feel like life and family and career are totally out of our control, just remember we can control ourselves.
Yep. There's a lot of choice in that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
Good to talk to you. I hope this helps. Hope it helps me.
Hope
And
it
many
helps
others.
someone.
Yeah, many others. There's so many out there that need this. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.